What if a black hole replaced the sun? Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. Your alarm rings. You stretch, walk toward the window, and pull back the curtains. But something is terribly wrong. The sky is completely black. No sunrise, no warm golden light, no glowing horizon, only endless darkness. At first, you think it's a massive solar eclipse. Maybe an unusual storm. Perhaps you're dreaming. But as the minutes pass, the darkness never ends. Streetlights remain on. Cars drive with their headlights. Birds never begin their morning songs. Across the entire planet, millions of people step outside in confusion. Then, astronomers around the world point their telescopes toward where the sun should be. What they discover changes humanity forever. The sun has vanished. In its place exists something almost impossible to see. A perfectly black sphere, surrounded only by a faint ring of distorted starlight. A black hole. The impossible has happened. The sun has somehow transformed into a black hole. News spreads faster than ever before. Television stations interrupt every broadcast. Social media explodes. Governments call emergency meetings. NASA, ESA, JAXA, scientists across the globe begin calculating humanity's future. Everyone expects the same terrifying outcome. Surely, Earth will be flung into deep space. Surely, the solar system is about to collapse. But then, scientists make a shocking announcement. Earth is not leaving its orbit. The world falls silent. How could that be? How could a black hole replace the sun, without pulling Earth into its darkness? The answer is stranger than science fiction. Gravity depends on mass, not on whether an object is a star or a black hole. If the black hole has exactly the same mass as the sun, its gravity would also be exactly the same. Earth would continue orbiting, almost perfectly. The moon would still orbit Earth. The planets would continue circling the center of the solar system. Nothing would suddenly be swallowed. Nothing would immediately crash. From a gravitational point of view, almost nothing changes. But from every other point of view, everything changes. Because although the black hole still has the sun's gravity, it no longer has the sun's light, or its heat. Within 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the last sunlight ever emitted by the sun reaches Earth. For one final moment, the sky glows. Clouds shine with golden colors. The oceans sparkle. People look upward, without realizing they are witnessing the final sunset in Earth's history. Then, the light disappears. Forever, the blue sky instantly becomes black. Even at noon, the stars fill the heavens. The moon vanishes completely, not because it is gone, but because nothing remains to illuminate it. For the first time in more than 4 billion years, Earth enters a night that will never end. Power grids struggle as billions of people turn on every light they own. Cities become islands of artificial brightness surrounded by infinite darkness. Fear spreads across every nation. Scientists begin calculating how long humanity can survive. The answer is measured not in centuries, but in weeks. Before Earth's surface begins freezing, the sun may be gone, but humanity's greatest challenge has only just begun. The first day passes, then the second. The world is still alive. Cities remain illuminated, airplanes continue flying, people continue hoping that somehow the sun will return, but it never does. The black hole remains exactly where the sun once shined, invisible, silent, waiting. At first, the temperature changes very little. Earth has spent billions of years storing enormous amounts of heat. The atmosphere, the oceans, even the ground beneath your feet, act like giant batteries. They continue releasing warmth into the cold darkness of space. But every hour, more energy escapes, and none returns. Within a week, scientists confirm what everyone feared. Global temperatures are falling, not by a few degrees, but continuously. There is no sunrise to warm the land, no sunlight to heat the oceans, no energy for life itself. Solar power stations become completely useless. Billions of solar panels around the world suddenly produce nothing. Entire electrical grids begin failing. Countries rush to rely on nuclear reactors, hydroelectric dams, and fossil fuels. Energy instantly becomes the most valuable resource on Earth. Governments declare global emergencies. Factories stop producing luxury goods. Every available resource is redirected toward survival. Heating systems, food production, medical facilities, underground shelters. Meanwhile, nature begins collapsing. Plants stop photosynthesis almost immediately. Without sunlight, they can no longer produce energy. Forests slowly begin dying. Grasslands fade. Crops fail across every continent. Within days, the global food chain starts breaking apart. Animals lose their habitats. Millions of species begin starving. Humanity realizes this is no longer a temporary disaster. This is extinction, unless something changes. Then, the oceans begin responding. The surface waters cool rapidly. Sea ice starts expanding from the Arctic and Antarctic. Every day, the frozen regions grow larger. Shipping routes disappear beneath thick layers of ice. Fishing industries collapse. Entire coastlines become trapped beneath frozen seas. Above Earth, the sky has become almost unbelievably beautiful. Without the sun's glare, the Milky Way stretches across the heavens with incredible detail. Billions of stars fill the darkness. Nebulas glow faintly. Distant galaxies become visible to the naked eye. It is the most breathtaking night sky humanity has ever seen. And the saddest, because every beautiful star reminds us, our own star is gone. Scientists begin searching desperately for hope. Could humanity move underground? Could geothermal heat keep us alive? Could nuclear reactors power entire cities? Massive engineering projects begin immediately. Old mines are expanded. Subway tunnels become emergency shelters. Entire underground cities are planned. For the first time in history, human civilization prepares to abandon the surface of its own planet. Then, another terrifying calculation arrives. Within only 1 year, Earth's average surface temperature could fall below -70 degrees Celsius. The oceans would continue freezing. The atmosphere would grow thinner. Most life on the surface would disappear forever. Humanity now understands the truth. The black hole hasn't destroyed Earth. It has done something far worse. It has left our planet alive, on a world that is slowly freezing to death. 1 month passes. The world is almost unrecognizable. The average global temperature has dropped far below freezing. Most rivers have become solid ice. Lakes have disappeared beneath thick frozen sheets. Snow now covers deserts, rainforests, even tropical islands that had never seen winter before. Earth is becoming an ice planet. From space, the transformation is terrifying. The familiar blue oceans are fading beneath expanding white continents of ice. Every day, the frozen world grows larger. Scientists estimate that the oceans contain enough stored heat to delay complete freezing. But only for a while. The surface freezes first, then the ice becomes thicker. Meter after meter, year after year, eventually, the oceans become sealed beneath kilometers of ice. Deep below, liquid water still survives for a time, but the surface is completely dead. Meanwhile, humanity has abandoned most major cities. New York, London, Tokyo, Paris, Dubai, once filled with millions of people, now stand silent beneath endless snow. Skyscrapers are buried in ice. Airports are abandoned. Highways disappear. Entire civilizations become frozen monuments. Only a handful of facilities remain active. Massive underground shelters powered by nuclear reactors. Deep geothermal stations drilled kilometers beneath Earth's crust. Secret military bunkers. Converted subway systems. These become humanity's final refuges. Underground, life continues. Artificial lights replace the sun. Hydroponic farms grow vegetables beneath powerful LED lamps. Water is endlessly recycled. Every watt of electricity is precious. Children begin growing up without ever seeing daylight. Many no longer understand what a sunrise looks like. Teachers show old videos of blue skies, green forests, warm beaches, birds flying through the air. To the youngest generation, they seem like fairy tales. Stories from another world. Above them, Earth has become silent. No birds, no insects, no forests moving in the wind. Only frozen buildings, and endless darkness. Yet something extraordinary still survives. Far beneath the frozen oceans, hydrothermal vents continue releasing heat from Earth's core. Around these underwater volcanoes, tiny ecosystems remain alive. Strange creatures, blind shrimp, tube worms, heat-loving bacteria, continue living exactly as they did before. Scientists watching through deep-sea robots realize something incredible. Life does not depend entirely on the sun. Some forms of life can survive using Earth's internal heat alone. This discovery gives humanity a small amount of hope. Perhaps, if the planet's core continues producing heat, life can survive underground for centuries, maybe even thousands of years. Then, astronomers make another astonishing discovery. The black hole is no longer completely invisible. Matter from comets, asteroids, and frozen gas drifting through the solar system begins falling toward it. As this material spirals inward, it heats to millions of degrees. Suddenly, a brilliant ring of blazing light appears around the black hole. An accretion disk, the object that replaced the sun, finally becomes visible. It glows like a fiery eye in the darkness. Beautiful, yet terrifying, humanity watches from beneath the frozen earth, knowing that this strange light will never warm the planet. It only reminds us of the star we lost forever. And as decades pass, one question becomes impossible to ignore. Can humanity survive underground forever? Or is this only delaying the inevitable? Years pass, then decades. The world above has become completely uninhabitable. The average surface temperature has fallen below -150 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere begins changing in ways no human has ever witnessed. Carbon dioxide, once an invisible gas, starts freezing directly out of the air. White crystals drift across the frozen landscape like strange snow. Even oxygen begins condensing into liquid in the coldest regions. Breathing outside is now impossible. The sky is perfectly black. No blue, no sunrise, no sunset, only stars, and one terrifying object, the glowing accretion disk surrounding the black hole. It hangs motionless in the heavens, a constant reminder of the sun that once gave life to Earth. Far below the surface, humanity has changed. Entire underground civilizations now exist. Gigantic geothermal reactors provide heat. Nuclear fusion powers artificial sunlight. Food grows inside enormous hydroponic forests beneath glowing lamps. Children have never seen a real tree, never felt rain, never watched clouds drift across the sky. To them, the surface is nothing more than a forbidden wasteland, a place spoken about only in history books. Yet, curiosity never disappears. Exploration teams continue traveling upward through frozen tunnels. Wearing heavily insulated suits, they emerge onto Earth's surface. The silence is overwhelming. No wind, no birds, no flowing rivers, only endless fields of ice stretching to every horizon. Entire cities remain perfectly preserved beneath layers of snow. Cars sit exactly where they were abandoned. Airplanes rest motionless on frozen runways. Skyscrapers stand like monuments to a civilization that once lived beneath the sun. Nothing moves, nothing grows, nothing lives. Then, scientists make an astonishing discovery. Deep beneath the kilometers-thick ice covering the oceans, liquid water still exists. Earth's internal heat has prevented the deepest layers from freezing solid. Robotic submarines are sent beneath the ice. What they discover shocks the world. Life, tiny microorganisms, strange deep-sea creatures, entire ecosystems clustered around hydrothermal vents. Against all odds, life on Earth has not disappeared. It has simply retreated into the darkness. The discovery changes everything. Humanity realizes, Earth is not completely dead. As long as the planet's molten core continues producing heat, some life will survive. Hope returns. Plans begin for even larger underground cities. Generations may never see the sun again, but perhaps the human species can endure. Then, another mystery appears. Astronomers notice flashes of intense X-rays erupting from the black hole. Frozen comets, asteroids, and even distant planets are slowly falling toward it. Each impact releases enormous bursts of energy. For a brief moment, the entire solar system is illuminated again. The icy surface of Earth glows with ghostly light. Frozen cities cast shadows once more. For just a few seconds, humanity sees daylight again. Then, the darkness returns. Those rare flashes become a symbol of hope. Every time the black hole feeds, people gather beneath observation domes. Children stare upward, watching the only light they have seen in years. But scientists know the truth. Those brief moments of light will never replace the warmth of a real sun. And unless humanity finds another solution, Earth's future may still be running out of time. Centuries pass. Then, thousands of years, Earth continues its silent journey around the black hole. From space, our planet no longer looks alive. The blue oceans are gone. The green forests have vanished. The white clouds have disappeared. Earth has become a frozen sphere, covered in endless ice. The black hole remains at the center of the solar system, invisible, except for the brilliant ring of superheated gas surrounding it. From a distance, it almost looks beautiful, but humanity knows the truth. That beautiful ring is not giving life. It is consuming everything that comes too close. Comets, asteroids, even entire planets that wander into its gravity, disappear forever. Deep beneath Earth's frozen crust, human civilization still survives, not because life became easier, but because humans refused to surrender. Gigantic underground cities now stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Artificial suns illuminate vast underground forests. Rivers flow through enormous caverns. Children laugh beneath ceilings of steel instead of blue skies. For them, the sun is not a memory. It is a story, a legend told by grandparents who never saw it themselves. Books describe golden sunsets, warm summer afternoons, the sound of birds at sunrise. To the newest generation, it all sounds impossible, almost magical. Yet, scientists never stop searching. Powerful telescopes continue scanning the galaxy, looking for another star, another home, another chance. Then, one day, they find one, a distant red dwarf star, tiny compared to our old sun, but warm enough to support life. Hope spreads through humanity once again, not because Earth can reach it. The journey would take tens of thousands of years, but because humanity finally understands its future. The future is not rebuilding Earth. The future is reaching another world. Our frozen planet becomes a giant spacecraft, carrying the last survivors through the darkness between the stars. And perhaps, millions of years from now, human descendants will step onto a new planet beneath a new sun. They may look back toward the endless darkness, and remember the world where humanity began. Thankfully, everything you've just witnessed is almost impossible. If the sun were instantly replaced by a black hole with exactly the same mass, Earth would continue orbiting almost exactly as it does today. We would not be pulled into the black hole. The greatest danger would not be gravity. It would be the complete loss of sunlight and heat. Without the sun, life on Earth's surface would slowly disappear. But the universe teaches us something extraordinary. Sometimes, the most important thing in our lives is something we barely notice. Every sunrise, every warm breeze, every green forest, every drop of rain, they all exist because one ordinary star continues shining. So the next time you feel sunlight on your face, take a moment to appreciate it. Because among the billions of worlds in our galaxy, very few are lucky enough to call a star like ours home. If you enjoyed this journey into one of the universe's most fascinating possibilities, subscribe for more cinematic, what-if, adventures. Because here, every question changes everything. Sun, whole globe.